Katie, welcome to my yoga class. To all my students, hi, and big apologies. I know that I said I was going to come and do some classes and things with you online, and I haven't yet. I'm sure everyone's the same. I also have 3 kitties running around, so I'm just trying to fit in time when I can, but I feel like it's really important, especially in this time, to come back to our practice. Grab a mat. You can grab a block as well. So this is a block, you can get them from Kmart. If you don't want to go out and don't want to order a block, get a book. So this is a book that I have at home. I can use it, it's hard copy, just use it exactly the same. Another really good yoga tool is a strap. So the straps can really help you when you're getting into positions, maybe you've got a few injuries. Don't worry if you don't have one, grab a belt. So belts are fantastic as well. So if you don't have a belt, just roll up a towel and use that. So today we're just going to start with a very gentle 30-minute yoga class, about 30 minutes. Do a little bit of a meditation before, a little bit of a meditation after. Just really chilled. Look, I'm recording from every area in my house. This is my bedroom. Just wherever you can. Just spending a few minutes a day to come back to a little bit of mindfulness, a little bit of peacefulness inside. At times that we can't go outside, let's go inside. Good analogy. It's something we probably all want to do and all say, oh, we're going to make time to do it, so here is your time. Thank you so much. All right, join me on the mat. Coming to the front of your mat, I'd like you just to close down the eyes. So to do this, make sure your feet are very comfortable on the mat. Maybe stand in a bit of a hip width position or pop the feet together. Bring the palms up and together. We've got meridians through lots of meridians through our body, but especially through our palms and through our feet. So bringing them together, thumbs pull into sternum, and just closing down the eyes. And taking a few deep breaths, breathing through the nose, and just coming back to stillness. Just giving the body a time just to come to complete peace. So you've put time aside for this practice. So you don't need to worry about the time. I'll keep an eye on it. Just inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that breath as it comes through the nostrils, and maybe it's a little bit cooler as you breathe in. As it completes its cycle, a little bit warmer. As it leaves the nostrils. Now observing the breath through the tummy, as it comes up through the chest. Pulling it all the way through to the collarbones. Gentle break at the top of the breath, and then exhaling all the way down through the collarbones, chest, and tummy. Another little break. And noticing those areas of stillness at the top and the bottom of our breath as we practice our pranayama breathing. And they may just be the only times of stillness in our entire day, but there's so many of them. So whenever you're feeling a little bit flustered, just try to tune into that area of stillness. So just opening up the eyes now. And bringing the hands down. In yoga, we like to keep our gaze very soft and gentle. And you can find a spot to look at, your drishti spot as well. So this will help you with your balance. Well, let's just do a few exercises just to warm up. So just stand everybody in a hip width stance, a little gentle bend of the knees, and just slowly rotate the body around. Now you'll notice that my hands just fly around my waist. And I'm actually opening up the midline of my waist and the meridians, the chakras, through the midline of the waist. And bring some breathing into this. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling on the other side through the nose. Keeping nice and loose. Just tuck the bottom in a little bit now. And then come back to center. And just stand really still and close down the eyes. And just feel the effects, the tingling through the body as we start to build the body's energy. A couple of breaths. And opening up the eyes. Come to sit on the floor. And we talked about the blocks or the books before, so I have a block here. You don't have to use a block at all, but if you want to use one, just slide it maybe between your knees. I'm going to come into a kneeling position. So using a block or a book just helps you to sit up a little bit taller in your seat, but you definitely don't need to use one if you don't want to. So, with our hands, we're just going to put them out to the side and just press into the fingertips if the fingertips touch the floor. If they don't, just push them out. Just so you broaden across the collarbones and just breathe into that area. And keeping your hands firmly pushed out or pressed down onto the mat, you're just going to exhale your head all the way over to the left. And inhale your head up. And then exhaling over to the right. Never over pushing into your head. And just turn the head now to the left. And back. Over to the right. And then back again. Very good. Now please lift your right hand, pop it on top of your head, just at the back, just so it's right there. And you're just going to push your head just down, but just very gently. And now, just look very slightly over to your left. So you should feel a nice little bit of pressure coming through the neck here. Just nice and gentle. Bring your head back. And let's take the other hand. And just press your head down on the exhale. And just turn the eyes, gaze over to the right. Just open. Beautiful. So lift up your left arm now. And on the exhale, I'd like you to put the right hand on the mat and just lean over to the right. Now with the right hand, create a little bit of resistance. Push the mat away as you lean your left arm over. Take a couple of deep breaths. And bring the arms up. And let's go over to the other side. So inhaling the arm up, pushing the mat away with my left hand, bringing my right hand over. and then coming up once more. Beautiful. So taking the block out, and I'm just going to lean my hips over to the left hand side. So just sitting really, really comfortably. Place your right hand next to your toes and just lift that arm up once more, but follow it this time with the gaze, and then bring the arm all the way over, all the way over, all the way over, leaning a little bit further now into your stretch. And we're going to bend that elbow and just pop it behind your head now, and just open the left elbow up towards the sky, and you should feel a beautiful stretch opening up through your chest. Taking some nice deep breaths and bringing the arms back. And before we do the other side, I want you to take your right hand on your left knee and take your left hand behind you. And just push into the ground like you're using your hand as a tripod, sitting up nice and straight, and just exhaling over to your left and just twisting the body, just a gentle twist just to open up. And then come back. Right, so we're going to push up through our hands, scoot our legs out the other side, and just sitting on our right side waist. Putting the left hands on the floor now, next to our foot, and looking at our right hand as we lift it up, all the way up, and bring it all the way over. Now if it hurts your neck to look up, don't look up. You can always keep your head in a neutral gaze forward, or you can look down. And bend into that elbow, pop the elbow or the hand behind the head, and just pull the right elbow back. And then bringing the hands all the way back down. And this time you're going to take your right hand, put it behind you, and lean into it just so you're sitting up nice and tall in your seat. Take your left hand onto your right knee. Inhale and lengthen, and exhale and twist. Taking some nice deep breaths, and you might find that when you inhale to lengthen, you might turn your body just very slightly towards the front again, and then exhale to get a nice twist. And then coming back. Now take your feet and just pop the soles of the feet together, and again you can take your block if you like, and you can sit on your block if this is comfortable for you. Otherwise you can put a pillow under your bottom. So bring your feet together, and when our feet are together and we're sitting up nice and straight, this is our butterfly pose, so Baddha Konasana. You can hold onto your ankles and you can hold onto your toes. And really, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing yoga for, the ankles or the toes, holding onto different areas of your body, really depends on the length of the bones through your arms and through your legs, so that's able to give you enough lift to be able to sit up straight. So I like to hold on to my ankles because I've got short arms, and then I can really pull and sit up nice and straight. And just very gently just opening your legs, just like a butterfly. We're just opening up the hips, just getting into that area. And now you're going to leave your left foot exactly where it is, and just bring your right foot forward and just open it up on a diagonal. So you can bring your left foot a little bit closer into your groin area, flexing through the right foot and just sitting up nice and straight. And you're going to take your right arm and just pop it on your calf. If you are a little bit more flexible and you can come down, You can come down a little bit lower, but we're just making a little bit of resistance on our leg. We're just going to lift up the left arm and just bring the arm all the way over once more, like we've been doing. Now pushing into that resistance should open your chest a little bit more, and then dropping into the elbow and putting the hand behind the head again just gives you a beautiful stretch again through your chest, through your side waist, and up through the arms. Now, on the next exhale, just drop forward to the foot and just put your hands on either side of the foot, and you can just adjust a little bit and just begin to walk forward and let the breath just take you down. If you can hold onto your foot, do that. If you can hold onto your leg, do that. This is a great stretch to use your strap as well, or your belt. So you can put your belt or your towel around your foot, and you can pull yourself a little bit closer, but never forcing. Always stretching on the breath. Doing everything in yoga on the breath. So coming to sit back up, and I want you to hold on to that right knee. And with that right knee, you're going to bring the right knee up, and you're going to place the right leg either in front of you, or if you want to go a little bit further, pick up that knee and just pop it on the other side of your left leg. So wherever it is, whether it's here or whether it's here, that's fine. Adjust your seat. Just pull out the excess skin around the bottom. So you're sitting up nice and straight. Beautiful. And you're going to put your right hand behind you. Lift up the left hand on the inhale, and exhale. Just see if you can place your hand here or hook your arm as you twist once more. Pull in on the tummy. And it will just bring you a little bit further over. And so coming back to center. And now how we're going to unravel, take your hands, put your hands behind you, bring your leg out if it's there. Otherwise, just bring your legs straight out in front of you, sitting up nice and straight here. And now we're going to go to the other side. So take your right foot, pop it into the groin area here. You can roll forward a little bit and sit up nice and straight. And you're going to take your hand to your calf or down. Let's take the right arm up, following it with your gaze, and come all the way over. Opening up here. If it's in your practice, just drop the elbow and hold on to the back of the head and just open up a little bit further. Exhale brings you down. I'm just going to turn to face that foot and just very gently coming down, always on the breath. If you can hold your foot, then please do so. If you can just stay here, then that's fine. And you're better to have a flat back than to be curved and all the way down. So keep your spine nice and straight and keep the neck neutral. And just remember that we haven't even done any salute to the suns, any Surya Namaskar. So our body is very fragile at this stage in the morning or the afternoon, whenever you're practicing. We're just starting to stretch into it. So lifting up the knee, once more, you can put the leg in front of you, or you can just put the leg over to the right side. Use your left hand behind you now and bring your right hand up. On the inhale and on the exhale, just bringing it over and just twisting. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. So in yoga, when we inhale, we lengthen out from the body, and when we exhale, we come back towards the body, we flex towards the body. Extend and flex. And then come back to center, very gently, taking your leg out or putting your hands back, taking your legs out, opening up the legs once more, and just shake through your legs. Then keep the legs nice and straight and just walk down very gently. And you may get to here and just stop, and that's perfectly fine. Just keep your gaze to the floor. If you want to come a little bit further, then please do so. Pulling, almost like you're flexing the feet and pulling the heels back towards the thighs. Just secures your legs a little bit and prevents injury. And then coming up, bring the legs together, and we're going to turn to the side and just come onto hands and knees into cat-cow. So wrists and shoulders align, and knees and hips in one line. Spread your fingers open, and always when you're on a pose that you're coming forward or in downward facing dog, always pop your middle finger facing straight ahead. So pressing into the fingertips, into the knuckles, into the wrists, and pushing the mat away, spreading your weight in all directions evenly. So we're going to inhale, drop the tummy and lift the chest up and forward into cow. And exhale, push the mat away with your hands as you round your back and look between your legs. Inhaling, dropping the belly, shoulder blades come down the back and looking out into cow. And exhale, pushing the mat away once more into cat. So come through these gentle cat-cows, this moving meditation, and you can close your eyes if you like. And then come to stillness on your mat. And I like to keep my hips completely still and then look over to my side body on one side and doing the same on the other side. And now we're going to move the hips as well. So we're going to look again to one side and pop the hips out and then do the same on the other side. Beautiful. Pop the big toes together, spread the legs as wide or as close as you want, and just walk your hands back so your bottom is on top of your heels. So we're coming into an extended child's pose. So child's pose, come down onto the mat, and you can pop your forehead onto the floor, please. And this is our resting pose. So extend the arms out for extended child's pose. Extend the fingertips all the way out, but at the same time push down on the tailbone. So you've got energy traveling all the way from the tailbone to the tips of the fingers. If you have any shoulder issues, just make sure you're always pulling your shoulders back into their sockets. And just breathe into this pose. Feeling the breath come all the way through the back body.
And you can come to child's pose any time in your practice. And on the next inhale, let's lift the booty up from the legs and just walk the hands back in under the shoulders and knees under the hips once more. And let's set up for downward facing dog. So fingers are forward, nice and spread. You're going to tuck your toes at the back. And on the inhale, just lift the knees, just very slightly. Do not come up though. And then bring the knees back down. Now when you do it, I'd like you to really concentrate on the area, the bottom area of your tummy and the way that it pulls in. So we're going to do it once more. So we're going to push into the hands and inhale, taking the knees off the floor. And you'll notice that your tummy is pulled in and your pelvic floor, is just pulling up and in. So pop the knees back down. And if you can keep your tummy and your pelvic floor doing that, it's going to protect your lower back throughout your practice and throughout other areas in your life as well. So on the inhale, lifting the knees, and this time we're going to lean into the hands and just pushing the hands back so that the arms are nice and straight, keeping a bend into the legs. And we're just going to concentrate at the moment on our upper body. So looking forward to your hands, you'll notice your fingers are spread, middle fingers are facing the front. The eyes of your elbows can face in together, or they can slightly just face towards your thumbs. Bring your head down, just shake your head out so it's nice and relaxed, and just a gentle gaze through the feet. And you want your back to be really, really nice and flat, almost like you're trying to push your chest down to the floor. Now, if you're ever uncomfortable, then you can walk forward on your mat and you can get back into that position. So just making sure it's comfortable for you. Feet probably 2 fist distance apart. And then we're going to just bend into one of the legs and just pop one of the heels closer to the floor and keep the gentle bend in the other leg. And just change and do it to the other side. So we're just going to walk out the dog. I'm just walking out the dog nice and gently. And then come up onto your tiptoes once more. And now I want you to put your body and imagine an A shape. So you're going to extend from your tailbone a little bit higher up to the sky. And then as you're doing that, just gently press the backs of your heels all the way down. And don't worry if they don't come anywhere near the mat, it's perfectly fine. Just breathe into this position. If you need to put your knees on the floor, absolutely do that. You're into a downward facing dog. Pretend that somebody is behind you and they're pulling your hips back. And as they're pulling your hips back, it's straightening out your body a little bit more at the front. Fantastic. So just coming down on the hands and knees, and then leaning back into the knees and shaking out the wrists. Great. Flick out the fingers a little bit. And then come forward once more. So spreading the fingers, we're going to try coming into downward dog once more. So heels coming up to the sky and toes pushing into the floor. And we're going to lift up. And remember that person that's pulling us back, 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 back. As the legs straighten gently. Keep a gentle bend to your knees anytime you want. Never lock the legs completely out, because that will cause a little bit of a injury. And just breathe into downward dog. Now look to your hands, and you're going to step your foot all the way up to your hands, any foot. Otherwise, just gently walk. So it's fine to walk, or just take a big step and step up into forward fold. So the neck rolls under, and the hands, and it's fine if you're in your forward fold up to here, or if you want to use a block or a book, that's absolutely fine as well. But just in our forward fold, keep a gentle bend to the knees once more and just hang out here. So this is Uttanasana, Uttanasana forward fold. And I wanted to show you Ardha Uttanasana. So this is the flat back. So popping your hands on your shins or popping your hands on the floor, you're going to press into your shins and come into Ardha Uttanasana. And you'll notice that my back is nice and flat, so our flat back. If you're popping your hands on the floor, then just leaning out with a nice flat back and looking down. And then Uttanasana, forward fold, so we're folding back in to our legs. Now deep bend in legs, so really deep bend, and just push energy up through the feet as you very gently roll up vertebra by vertebra as slowly as you can, and being conscious of any lightheadedness, and rolling your shoulders back and bringing your head up last. And this will bring you up nice and tall, and looking down at the feet and maybe spreading the toes, so putting the toes down on the mat one by one. If it's uncomfortable having your feet together, then you can definitely stand hip width. But however you're doing it, lift the toes up, place the toes down, pull up through the knees, and you'll find as you pull up through the knees, you broaden across the hips, the tailbone tucks in, you're lifting up through your pelvic floor, slight tuck of the belly, bringing the arms up and around, bringing the hands down, and the forearms can just gently open. Now with the neck, you want to keep the neck nice and long and straight. Find your perfect gaze out to the distance. So even if that's at a wall or out a window, just look straight ahead, just your gaze straight ahead, and you've come now into Tadasana, mountain pose. So this is the mama pose of all of our standing poses, and actually a lot of our inversions as well. So standing in mountain, you should be standing really strong, and when I do this with my students at school, I come and just give them a very gentle push and they will stand absolutely straight. They're amazing. So a very strong pose in mountain. Now on the inhale, let's lift our arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, we're going to swan dive down, keeping a straight back. Nice and straight, exhaling all the way down. And it doesn't matter how far you get to, and you can bend your knees to keep it nice and comfortable. Now looking out to the distance, inhaling to look out to the distance, and exhaling, coming all the way back down, gentle tuck of the chin. And taking the right foot, you're going to bend into the right foot and bring it all the way to the back of your mat. And keep your hands on the floor for balance. And just bring the right knee down to the ground. So you're in a gentle lunge. And you can just open the hips and breathe into the lunge area. Push into the front foot to bring you up nice and straight. And you're going to lift up your arms, just keeping a nice steady gaze straight ahead. And just with your left hand, take your right wrist and extend your right hand up. And then pull your right hand with your left wrist towards the side wall. And then come back. Now pop the hands, circle them down into the floor. You're going to lift up your right leg. So lifting up the right leg, and you're going to swing the left foot back to meet the right. And it doesn't matter if you have to take a few steps to get there, but swing it back to meet the right, and it brings you into plank. So plank, your heels are stretching towards the back of the mat. Your fingers are still spread, and your head is stretching towards the front with your gaze all the way down. Now I just want you to put your knees now onto the mat. Bend your elbows backwards, bringing your chest down, and then bring your chin down onto the mat, and then flatten out so you're lying on the mat on your tummy. The tops of your toes push into the mat, and your pubic bone pushes into the mat, and you're going to bring your hands just to your armpits, around that area. Fingers facing forward, elbows not flaring out, elbows facing tight and squeezing in. And then on the inhale, just lifting through your hands and lifting up into Cobra Pose. So Bhujangasana. So make sure you're pressing into your pubic bone and into the backs of your feet. And never come up too high, just very gentle baby cobra. And then coming back down again. So we're going to try that once more. So pulling the elbows all the way into the waist, spreading the hands, pushing down on the feet, pushing down on the pubic bone, and inhaling, coming up. Now, on the next inhale, I want you to push through your hands and come all the way back into that extended child's pose. So pop the toes together and come back, all the way back into a beautiful stretch, extended child's pose at the back of your mat. And then come up, pulling up into tabletop position, checking out your hands, making sure your hands are open, align your knees and your hips, tuck the toes, and inhaling, bring you up to downward facing dog. Take a couple of deep breaths in downward dog. And when you're ready, just look towards your hands and either take a big step forward or take some little steps to bring you all the way to the front of your mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees and reverse swan dive, pushing energy from your feet all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Now your hands come all the way together at the top, palms touch, coming through the heart, and you're going to come all the way down, straight down to the mat once more. I'm going to do the other side. All the way down to the mat, and we're in Uttanasana, forward fold. And looking out to the distance, Ardha Uttanasana. And this time you're going to take your left foot and lift your left foot up and bring your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. And knee comes straight down into a low lunge as you just stretch into that side body. And then coming up, pulling yourself up so you're on your knees. Now lifting the arms above the head, you're going to do the same on this side. Take your right wrist with your left hand, lifting the arm up and just pulling it over. Stretching through the side waist and then bringing the arm back up. Changing hands and pulling over to the side.
And then coming back up. Circle the arms back around, you know what to do, putting the hands in front of you. We're going to transition into plank, so lifting your back foot up and swinging your front foot around to meet the back foot. Your heels press towards the back of the mat and your head pushes towards the front. Your gaze is straight down. Now this time I want you to bend the elbows always tracking back, and bring yourself very slowly down to the mat. Beautiful. So here we're going to set up the cobra once more. So spread the fingers, pull the elbows into the body line, push down on the tops of the toes and down on the pubic bone as you inhale, coming up to our baby cobra. And exhale, coming down. Now this time keep your head on the ground, so forehead is on the ground, and I want you to take your hands and just clasp them behind you. And you're going to pull your arms back, just very gently pull them back. Now keeping your feet pressing into the ground and your pubic bone pressing into the ground. On the inhale, you're just going to lift your head very slightly off the mat, pulling your arms backwards past your buttocks. So inhaling, coming up, and exhaling, coming down. So let's practice that once more. So inhaling to come up, and you should be feeling a beautiful stretch through the shoulder blades. Exhaling, coming down. And then bringing the hands back to the sides. You're just going to push back again into child's pose. All the way back. And your hands can stretch out. If it's a little bit more comfortable, take your hands and bring them all the way down so that they're down next to your feet. And bring the hands so they're underneath you now. Push them up and just position yourself into your tabletop. Tuck your toes, and on inhale, bring your body up and pull it back to downward facing dog. A couple of deep breaths. Bend into the knees, look forward. And then step all the way to the top of the mat once more. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Bend into the knees and swan dive your hands all the way up and all the way down through the heart, and just stop at the heart. Pressing the thumbs into the sternum, closing down the eyes. Just realigning mind with body. Breath. And then opening up the eyes once more. And we're just going to practice a balancing pose now. So keeping your feet hip distance apart. In fact, just bring them a little bit closer in, or whatever feels comfortable enough, because we're going to be balancing on one foot, and we're going to be practicing tree pose. So pushing energy through your feet like we practiced in Tadasana mountain pose, pulling up on the knees, pulling the pubic bone down and just widening up through the collarbones, standing nice and tall and straight, and just leaning into the left leg. And so leaning, putting all the weight into the left leg, and you're just going to bend your right knee. Turn your ankle, and you can put your heel on your lower calf. If this is comfortable for you, and only if it is, you can lift your foot up a little bit higher, never going to the knee. So pushing on the knee is not good for your knees. If you can go a little bit further, or you want to try, then pick up your foot and just press it into your thigh. And it's okay if you're wobbling a little bit, that's absolutely fine. You're going to put your hands on your hips and just straighten out using your hands, your hips, so you're in a better alignment, and just breathe. So in our tree pose, we stand up nice and tall. If you can bring your hands up, all the way up, palms facing in, you can stand in a full tree. Otherwise, bring your hands together at the top of your head. Play with your gaze. Look straight ahead if you want. See if you can lift your head up slightly. Now, the more you push your foot into your thigh, the easier it is to balance. So this balancing will help with concentration in all areas of your life. Opening the hands, bringing the hands down, 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 and coming back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Good job. So, starting on the next side, push into the right foot, lift your left heel, just balance it. Otherwise, lift it up a little bit more. Don't worry if you're wobbling. Look at a spot in front of you. So find your drishti spot. This will really give you a lot of balance. Otherwise, lifting your ankle and putting it on your foot, looking straight ahead, breathing, and bring the arms up, all the way up, all the way up to the top. And you can put your hands or your palms together if you want. If you want to challenge yourself, just look up. Always good to come back and balance and find a little bit more center. And then when you're ready, coming back down. Beautiful. So standing again and taking your feet out into a hip width position. I just want you to bend into your knees just nice and gently, and you're going to come down into a squat. So coming down really, really gradually. Now, if you can't go anywhere past here, if it doesn't feel comfortable, then just pop your hands on your legs, and that's absolutely fine. This is where you need to go. Keep your neck just looking straight down. If you want to go a little bit further, then you can pop a block and you can come down and balance on the block. Otherwise, if you can come down, you can lift the back of your heels up if that's a little bit more comfortable for you, just to give you a little bit more room as well. So squat position is a fantastic position. It's called Malasana. It's a great position to get into each day. And each day, just try and breathe your heels closer and closer to the earth, and bring your hands into prayer position once more. And you'll find that your elbows are just pushing into the knees, just opening up the knees. So you want to pull the tailbone down, and remember the piece of string at the top of your head. You're going to lift up and through the string, and just take a few deep breaths in this position. And I can hear my kids talking, so if you can hear them talking through the video at the moment, that's perfectly fine. I have 3 children, so finding time to practice and to do my own things can be quite challenging, but it's very rewarding if you give yourself the time. Putting the hands behind you, just coming down onto your bottom, and just coming to lie down on your mat now. So we're just finishing up our practice. So walk the hands back very gently so you're lying down nice and flat, keeping the soles of the feet on the floor, and just open out the hips, and you're just going to windscreen wipe your feet or your legs from side to side, just very gently opening up those hips, just A little bit more. Just remembering to breathe. And then get your knees and just pull them in, just giving them a little bit of a tight squeeze into your chest. And maybe holding them in your arms and just bringing them round and round in little baby circles. And this is actually going to massage your lower back. So concentrate on trying to push the tailbone down, just never forcing it, just very gently pushing through the tailbone. And then take the circles in the opposite direction. Beautiful. So making sure you've got enough room, putting your hands out, and we're just going to lean the legs all the way over to the left on the exhale. So exhale them over, all the way over, and just feel that nice stretch through the side waist. And you can use your left hand, if you like, on your knees, just to pull them down a little bit further. And breathing into the side waist. And if it's in your practice or your neck's feeling okay, turn your neck over to the right, and that just gives your neck a nice little stretch as well. And bring your head back to center, shuffling your body and pushing into your hands to bring your knees back up, and then dropping them all the way to the other side. And it's your choice whether you want to put your hands on your legs to pull them down, and to lift your neck and just look over to the side. And then coming up once more and just hugging the knees into the chest and just spreading out the feet nice and wide. So you're setting up for Shavasana, just letting the hands open, probably about 6 inches away from the body. Relaxing the feet, letting them fall open as well. And you can get wide in your space, you can get big in your space. Just any way that you feel totally comfortable and at ease on your mat. Maybe pushing into the heels and just lifting the buttocks off the floor just a little bit and then bringing them back down, and then maybe doing the same, pushing into the head, lifting the shoulder blades up and just spreading them down on the floor. Just a feeling of complete peace washing over the body. With the eyes nice and closed, letting the eyeballs just roll back into the sockets, feeling smooth across the forehead. Just bringing a very gentle smile to the lips. Bringing a gentle smile to the lips actually relaxes the face. And that in turn relaxes the rest of the body. Feeling your shoulders melt into the floor. And the warm energy going through your arms and out through the fingertips. The softness through the torso as you follow the exhalation and inhalation down through the body. Into the legs, all the way down through the knees, softening of the calves, ankles, heels, feet, the warm tingling of the toes.
Bringing your awareness now to the outside of your body. Maybe just feeling into the space about 6 centimeters away from the body. The warmth, the floating sensation. Catching any thoughts that come to mind and just letting them gently float away. Total relaxation. And taking some inhales, just arriving back in your body, fluttering through your fingers and your toes, and just gently roll over to your right side, please. In your own time, just take a few breaths in recovery position. And when you're ready, just push up. Keeping the eyes closed or downcast, come into a cross-legged position in the front of your mat. Bring the hands up to the third eye center into a prayer position. Thank yourself for being here today, for taking the time to come to the mat and bringing the hands all the way down to the lips. For speaking words of wisdom and kindness to yourself through your practice. And bringing the hands to the heart. From my heart to yours, thank you for practicing with me today, beautiful yogis, and namaste to you all. And just opening your eyes nice and gently. Welcome back. Thank you very much for practicing. And I hope to see you again on the mat.